Welcome back and thank you for staying with us. Now, the EFF's Nthabiseng Tshivhenga has been appointed interim speaker of the Ekurhuleni Council. Former Speaker Raymond Dhlamini walked out during a council sitting last night. He was due to face a motion of no confidence. The municipal manager ended up overseeing proceedings. Opposition parties accused the DA-led municipality of failing to implement proper service delivery. Let's go to our reporter Pule Letshwiti-Jones, who's following these developments, and he joins us now live. Pule, we're also hearing rumors that Action SA has apparently told Tanya Campbell that she might have to actually exit her office along with her executive.
Yeah, well, we're going to be speaking to the executive mayor just a few moments from now. But of course, also what we understand is that the speaker, or rather ousted speaker of the Ekurhuleni Council, Mr. Raymond Dhlamini, after consulting with the leadership of the DA and national leadership of the DA and the DA caucus in Ekurhuleni, he said that he will be taking legal action against the proceedings which saw him ousted from position yesterday to try and reverse them, saying that due process wasn't followed. But joining me right now for more on this talk, we're speaking to the Ekurhuleni Mayor, Tanya Campbell. Thank you very much for speaking to us this morning.
Thank you.
Perhaps let's just start with what she said yesterday in terms of service delivery in the city, saying that you're quite concerned. What are your remarks about that?
Yes, look, it has definitely got a negative effect on service delivery, and as the mayor, that is my prime concern, is getting services out to our residents. And if this type of behaviour carries on, the only people who are suffering are the residents out there. Officials are unsettled because they're not sure which way to move, and this is just not acceptable. I have made a point to carry on doing the programs that I am doing, not being unsettled by these type of this type of behaviour, because it is important that we carry on with services. We just cannot do this type of thing that is to such a disadvantage to everyone. There were very important items that had to go through, for instance, our adjustment budget. The adjustment budget was purely synchronized in a way where departments that do service delivery and are service delivery orientated, that the money gets put in there for the last quarter of the year, and that proper concentration can be given to certain departments. Now we are again at a situation where that has not happened. But adjudication committees have been cancelled 4 times this week, where it is integral that those committees sit, where we can get our services out, specifically when it comes to solid waste. The hiring of the trucks, for instance, is one of those items that has just been left on the back burner. We just cannot carry on like this, and it is time that politicians take proper responsibility and they act within the frames of our law.
And we're seeing the mayhem unfolding in council as well. Would you say that you're on the firing line because you see there's an attempt to remove the speaker than yourself as well?
Look, there's always been that I've always worked what I call the elastic band syndrome. When is it going to snap? But I cannot put my headspace into that. I have to do long-term planning. Myself and the coalition partners, we have to. Our MACO members, we have to. Officials that are appointed in the city cannot sit back and say, well, we're playing a waiting game. It has to happen. No matter who is in the helm, services have to take place.
And how are the talks with the other coalition partners?
Our coalition partners in Ekurhuleni are steadfast. We are sticking together. We are making sure that we abide by the rule of law. And in our point of view, it's business as usual. Our members of the mayoral committee, we said, you carry on with your plans. We carry on with our plans. We cannot have this in the back of our minds all the time.
Have you received any sort of communique or whatsoever message from Action SA who is saying that you should exit office?
Look, Action SA will always play popular politics. That's their point of view. And, they need to do what they need to do. We have got a mandate. We know what our mandate is. We know that we want to give services, and we're not going to play petty politics about it.
What's the way forward from now on, your plan as mayor?
The way forward is still to get the adjustment budget through. I've had to write to the Minister of Finance, to COCTA, to National Treasury, explaining to them also that the quarterly reports aren't or have not they're tabled but did not go through Council yesterday. Luckily, I got the Auditor General's report through yesterday, which is integral to our development of our city.
And let's speak about the legal action. We know that Raymond Dhlamini says that they will be filing legal action. Are you supporting this? Are you also part of this to say that the way Council was convened yesterday, which saw the EFF Speaker being appointed as the acting Speaker, was of course unprocedural?
Yes, I must say that, again, we are bound by the rule of law. And if proper processes aren't being followed, then we need to attempt to make sure that they are rectified. And the only way forward now is through the courts and through a judge that will then come through and make whatever he decides. Our legal team, we have been sitting with them, and processes have not been followed properly.
What kind of processes?
Well, processes filing motions, processes adhering to the Speaker in Council. You know, the Speaker in Council is there to make sure that Council runs properly, that programming committees, that all these integral parts of the legislature actually run in a seamless way. Now, those processes have to be adhered to. Council processes, we are guided by the rules and standing orders of our council. We are guided by the Constitution of South Africa, and we are guided by the acts that are there for us to make sure that we function properly.
This means the Speaker position could be challenged.
Who knows? It would be challenged most probably through it's been challenged through now the courts. And we will absolutely respect the outcome. I've said that previously when they got me out. I'm happy to sit on the opposition benches as long as service delivery carries on. We will not govern by all means, and by all means breaking the law. That is not part of our agenda.
Maybe just lastly, before I let you go, my colleague Wangoba Mkunu, of course, in Brakpan. I know you've also been on a program visiting schools, preaching just about, safety and security of schools. We're seeing where a student was stabbed in one of these schools to death as well, which is quite concerning. As a mayor, are you concerned about that? Would you be visiting the school and the family? What's on your agenda?
Yes, I am totally shocked when I saw that this morning, and also just seeing it such young learners. I have been at schools and I've been motivating for learners to stop bullying, to keep their studies in mind, not to have popular groups where they ask certain groups of children. Asking parents, please, let's bring those morals back into our society with our children. A child at that age, which is most probably 14, 15, carrying a knife in a school, in the first place, what is a knife doing at a school? So I think as society, we need to take corrective measures within ourselves as well. I have already spoken to councillors there. I have already spoken to the MMC of Community Safety to find out exactly what has happened, because we don't want it to escalate in situations where it becomes either a racist thing, a violence thing, or it could be motivated by substance abuse or just popularity. That type of behaviour none of us can accept in society anymore.
Right. Tanya Campbell, thank you very much for joining us. Of course, that's the Ekurhuleni Mayor speaking to us this midday. Masego saying that they are looking into that situation whereby they will be supporting the ousted council speaker Raymond Dhlamini in terms of taking legal action against the council proceedings which saw him ousted from office, saying that that isn't the way council should convene, citing amongst other issues that it was unprocedural, but of course saying that, look, they're ready to sit in the opposition benches if the speaker and of course the mayor is to be ousted from positions, and will be just continuing holding those parties who are in position to account. So it'll be interesting to see how the next couple of weeks will unfold here in Ekurhuleni.
All right, Pule Letshwiti-Jones and Ekurhuleni for us. Let's leave it there for now.